All right, what's going on, speculators? I'm back. Streaming here live on YouTube. This is going to be our afternoon power hour stream for today, which is Tuesday, July 8th, 2025. A little bit of a slow summer trade, not a little bit, ever since we kind of popped up a couple weeks while I was gone. First person in here, if you can get a 1 in the chat for picture and sound, it looks like the sound should be working okay. Today, I don't know if we'll get into any trades, but you can see I'm working in order to buy 45,502 and then prior session low 44,434 on the Dow Jones. Got a series of, I couldn't pass up the PropShop sale, so I activated 5 of the Gladiator accounts. Those are the instant funding accounts from PropShop. And I haven't yet used my coupon. I'll do that later today, and I'll get the other 5. I've never seen a deal anywhere close to that, so I chose the $2,500 drawdown, just the standard ones. And if you do all the math, that's about $150 an account, which is less than the activation fees for many firms or for the evaluation fees plus activation fees. So I haven't been a big fan of these for most traders. The metrics that I usually use, everybody. Is anybody watching? 0 views. Let me just make sure it's streaming. It looks like it's streaming. Someone will eventually pop in here. So I haven't been a fan of these direct accounts for quite a while, just because most of the market's just not really ready for them. And the requirement that I set and I suggest is, let me just move this over, is that you should have passed and taken a payout. Thank you, Luke. Thank you, everybody. You should have passed and taken a payout from at least one firm. Okay, use that as sort of your what do they call it? Prerequisites, right? You can't just jump right into Spanish 4 just because you had a Latina girlfriend. So you have to have the prerequisites done. I've been doing this a long time. Many people in our group are at that stage. If you're just watching me here on YouTube, what we do is we trade the appropriate size and instruments for these small accounts. So that's essentially micros. So what you see up on the screen there, not very impressive. I didn't really have much time to trade today, but still, that's what the market's offering right now, which is not a whole lot. We're creeping down a little bit as I'm talking here. On the NASDAQ, I'm working some orders to get involved in gold. I normally wouldn't trade gold in the afternoon, but it had some nice movement this morning. Got stuck in it a bit, but thank goodness, once again, it bailed me out. You can only get bailed out if you're managing risk properly. You don't get bailed out very often. In fact, more often than not, you'll get stopped out at the lows or at the highs if you're short. You earn the right by managing risk to get bailed out more often than not. So today in the gold markets right here.
Order filled. Position open.
We took a move down to prior session low, scared the children again for another 8 or so points, and then have since moved up to and probably going to trade right around this POC right here.
Position open.
I'm getting filled on a few things. Let's see what they are. Guess I had some resting orders here. All right, so long the MES in these 2 accounts right here. I would suspect that I would be long in a few others. I do have a copier turned on. No targets for that for right now. All right, so the way these direct accounts are set up is they are number 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, as if I had, but they're not my first. Anyway, we're still doing what I'm calling the wire-to-wire challenge, which is these are the first 5 PropShop accounts that I ever bought. First 5, and I'll be working on those, probably for another couple months. I could push them at some point, but this is progress that I'm fine with. Because the whole idea here is if you have the patience and the discipline and you establish these habits properly in the evaluation phase, you'll be set up well to do the exact same thing and just ease in. Nothing should feel that much different. Now, we all know if it's your first time doing these things, it will feel different, but you'll get to the point where you will have an ease and flow about this that will not concern you. feel like every time I look up, which is where this screen is, the volume gets bad, and then I get accused of being a boomer who doesn't know how to use technology, which is kind of true. I'm all right with that. Today I watched a number of videos. Lots of they've all ditched their Lambos for McLarens. Lots of McLarens in Miami in trading videos. All right, so we're long. I'm long the MES here, so let's go over to that, and I'll just put in an order up here. We'll be optimistic.
Order pending.
We'll be optimistic.
Order pending. Order pending.
Your funded accounts have been suspended for trading for more than 2 months. Can't imagine that's at PropShop. PropShop just launched about 2 months ago. So you got the 5+5. Did you activate all of them, Krishna? 5+5. So I have my first 5 that I got. These are warriors. Sitting out the rounds of heartbreak, bang, bang. I am the warrior. I can't comment on that. Tick Trader, I traded right when they launched for a little bit, and I do have 2 of their instant accounts as I tested those. I tested instants at Tick, at Tradeify, and what was one other firm? I never had a fast track account. So I'm sorry to hear that. It doesn't sound like you should be 2 months for anything. I know there had been people that had really spun up all kinds of nonsense at Apex and then complained when they weren't allowed to do any more evaluations and a bunch of other things. Let's not get into that. Let's keep it all on the positive. Let me switch down here to just try this out. I am long a position over here. I should move this guy over here so that it's in the same spot. Just more zoomed in. More zoomed in.
Order submitted.
Let me see here. Actually, I only have one. I apologize. I just have one. It's this one called TD, this one right here, 3974, whatever. This is a direct account. Where you trade micros. You know what else I got going on over here? First time I've done this literally since I don't remember, at least 5 years ago, even more. I have 3 express funded accounts up here, which have a whopping balance of minus $2.92. I made 70 today. Again, I didn't have much time to do anything with these. Made 70 just because I couldn't stand seeing them be underwater. They were underwater by like like $75 or something like that. I just got them, activated them. I have 2 more. I'll probably activate all 5 of them, and then we'll trade these ridiculously slow. Would I still trade micros if I was on a 150 account? Well, how about this? I have $250,000 accounts, and I still trade only micros. You see these up here? I've been working on these for about 4 months. It'll take me about 4 months to get them to 265. I am going to activate all these. So the reason it's not only you should, everyone should. Hear this once and for all. I say it every single time. My content guys are going to need some new content, but we're all dudes, or most of us are dudes here. So as we say, XXX, nude, girls. I got to tell you 3 times. I probably have to tell you guys 1,000 times. These prop accounts are $5,000 at the most, maybe 6, maybe 7 at the most. And guess what? Let's say there's 7,500 in terms of your total drawdown. that's losing 100% of your account. So if you were to deposit $5,000 or $10,000 in an account and you lose anywhere close to 100% of it, that's blow up city, right? Affects not only your financial situation, but your emotional capital, which is equally important. So the question that I'm answering, and in post-production, it'd be cool if, is there a way on YouTube to click on the comment and have it show up on the YouTube screen? I don't think there is, or at least I think I have to stream through YouTube. Anyway, you're not here to provide me tech support. When I'm using Streamlab or something, I can do that. The question was, if I have 150, or if you're trading a $150,000 account, do you still trade micros? Well, let's remove this nonsense of the number in front of it, the notional value, because the notional value is nonsense. And one thing that I like that TopStep introduced when they rolled out all their new stuff is they brought their funded accounts to the zero balance. That's what they should all be. So the balance of this account that you see on the screen is $2,000 account. If I had 100,000, or I think they offer 152, I don't know, but maybe this number would be 3,000 or 4,000. Can you trade a mini in a $4,000 account? I mean, you can try. I'll tell you where you can't trade a mini in a $4,000 or $5,000 account: Interactive Brokers. Lots of respectable brokers that don't offer ridiculous day trader margin. Okay, so absolutely. And this methodology and the stuff that I show here is designed specifically for, let's see here, the NQ popping up a little bit, and I got two lots on over here. 68, 69. Let me just break
Order
even there.
filled.
Break even here.
Order filled.
And break even here.
Order filled.
There we go. Let the other ones run a little bit. Oh, I need my control center back where it needs to be. Where is it? Here we go. Oops. Gotta get my control center back. All right, over here. All right. But the ideal today was to trade the Tickblaze accounts. So if we go back over there, we're up a whopping $8 in each of these. So let's take this as an example, continuing the thread one more time. These instant Gladiator accounts have a $2,500 drawdown. I don't want to eat into $2,500 at all. Not even a few $100. I'm going to trade these with $440 risk budgets. That's my daily risk budget for these accounts. I'm probably going to put them all in the copier and trade them all together, and I'll use a $440 risk budget in even the slightly larger accounts. If you're first starting out and you have a $2,000 or $2,500 drawdown, don't use a $440, $250, $300 max as you develop your skills. The reason is that until you are capable of making that, exceeding what your daily risk budget is, you will mathematically screw yourself up if you eat like a bird and shit like an elephant, which I say all the time. Okay, real quick, since markets are slow, we can go back to a little learning moment. This is super easy to teach. This is NinjaTrader right now. I have the same strategy over on TradingView. See how flat and beautiful these lines are? The market is just meandering between these levels. This is the Dow Jones. You can see the entire Dow Jones range. This kind of price action would frustrate the crap out of the vast majority of traders. Not us. Well, maybe some of us. I can't speak for everybody's mentality or personality. But we have been hugging this line all the time today. Do I have any kind of bias? No. I would think that sellers would challenge and try to push us down to the lows we saw yesterday in the Dow. They got about 40 minutes left to try to do that. If we break these, meaningfully break the 44.5s, then it's likely a straight shot down to, why can I not click on that? That's weird. We're having some technical difficulties here. There we go. That was weird. So right here, This is the level that I was thinking we would get to even sooner, but we've had some buyers come in here. Okay. The thing about the two strategies that I teach in here is they're DAS. They really are dead ass simple. I continue to try to watch a lot of education out there, not to be disparaging or say I'm the best ever, or it's hard to be humble when you're as great as I am. But really to see what people are talking about when it comes to analyzing or looking at charts and essentially trading strategies. And a lot of this liquidity levels or a lot of analysis seems to be looking left quite a bit. What I want you to do, or what I suggest you do as an active intraday trader, is yes, understand where we were, but if you're trading actively, know that yesterday the Dow was down like maybe 700 at the lows, pop back up. This candle right here, right? I know that my face is over this. Just keep it simple. This right here is a buy. That's this level right over here. With narrow ranges like this, your first target would be up here at VWAP. You could take extended targets here to here. And as I teach all the time, if you want dynamic 1-to-1 or 2-to-1 risk rewards, the other thing that I see quite a bit is people are saying this is where smart money was doing this or where things were happening, and everything's in the past. They're always looking left. You can look left on the chart. It does leave some clues. But you want to do walk forward trading. You want to think in terms of the future. That's why we call it futures, right? So rather than look all here, and the only thing I care about is whether price has touched certain levels. In other words, I'm not going to take a target of the plus ones, which is this pink line right here. I'm not taking a target on that unless we've touched it. Well, we've almost touched it twice. So now this is a valid target. But let's not also lament these slow summer months, because they're great opportunities to practice. When volatility is down, members of my group will know the answer to this. Should you increase or decrease your positions? These are underlying, not options. When volatility is down, do you want to increase or decrease? You want to increase. You want to be selling less options because you're not really getting paid for them. So when we get into these types of situations, I move away from selling puts or selling calls, except for in the treasury markets. Right now I'm short 111 and 110.5 puts. So I'm going to need a little positive reaction or negative reaction, whichever way you look at it, to the jobs, excuse me, to the FOMC minutes tomorrow. All right, we are just petering around doing a whole lot of nothing, as to be expected. So we answered that. Can I repeat that? Yes, one more time. Always double down. Trade your own accounts. No need for prop firms. No, absolutely not. No. That's not true. I have 7 figures in a bunch of accounts. I'll still do this. For a variety of other reasons, I want to show people. If I can get $2,000 or $3,000 in funny money that I can get paid on, and use copiers and high probability setups, plus managing risk across a number of small accounts using a copier is infinitely easier on your emotional capital than the amount of contracts that I still, to this day, get buckhole pucker time when I put on 3 NQ contracts. Personally, I've been trading for 30 years. I trade those in an account that have like 300-400 grand in it, and I put on 3, and I get jittery. Still. So doesn't mean I don't do it. Now, that's the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ will make anyone jittery a lot of the time. I feel very comfortable having 10 or 15 ZN or ZB positions on. Sometimes I trade 50 ZT. But most of the time, those markets move kind of like what we're seeing here right now. But the idea that the vast majority of people should lose money, their own money, the numbers don't change. 6 to 10% of people in prop programs make money or take payouts consistently or are probably net profitable for all the money they put in, let alone whatever they think their hourly rate should be. I've been doing this a long time, and I've been on the other side many, many times. You think that that 10% number is true for active traders? No, it's not even close. You can't even... Active traders churn so dramatically, there's nobody even in the game long enough to have active stats. For 4 or 5 years, I was doing private and coaching, if you will, for generally 40 to 60-year-old guys that had millions of dollars and would put $300,000 or $400,000 in a Thinkorswim. It always seemed to be Thinkorswim. And they would try trading options, and they'd blow through half of it, and they would think, oh, there's got to be a better way. Well, there is a better way. Now, for them, that they're not a good fit for coming in and trading micros in a simulated environment. But I learned back in 2019 when the CME launched the micros, that, wow, I could actually help a lot more people now, because now we have a product that allows people to learn and trade and scale in and scale out in ways that require hundreds of thousands of dollars to trade in a similar manner. There are many other reasons that, let me just switch up to the to this over here. We're up a whopping $18. Let's see here. Just put in our targets.
Order pending.
I'm proud of my 18 bucks. Here it's 20. And where are we coming off of? We're coming right off of just a line. You don't have to understand the line. I have to figure out where to find a line on here. I haven't used this. I've been on vacation. Arrow. Here we go. See that? This is one standard deviation from VWAP. You don't have to care if smart money's doing anything. You don't have to care if it's a liquidity gap shelf, reverse Wagyu beef, flip-flop momentum trade. Just put the order on the frickin' line and manage risk. That's it. All right. Oh, you guys are promoting your OnlyFans in here? All right. Don't make me ban you. Number 2. What do I think of the Gladiator accounts? Well, I think they are not appropriate for most people. But if you have been at this game for a few years and successfully taken some payouts and didn't do that after blowing up and churning through, if your payouts were on Apex PA account number 206, then no, you're still not ready to buy a direct to funded account. Someone in here said, screw prop programs or don't trade those, just trade your own money. That's another way you could figure out whether you're right for this. Put $5,000 into an AMP or NinjaTrader account and see how long you last. I have those tracking accounts that I use. Here's one of them right here. This account has started with $5,000 in it. It's got 69. Ooh, I've dragged it to the wrong screen. So this account has $6,900 in it or so. This is with Tasty, and their integration with TradingView is terrible. So it shows I'm in a position. I don't know if it'll show over here. Account summary. Made a whopping $45 today. No, it says profit and loss $0, which is just not true. But anyway, so put five grand in, and see if you can make $1,000 each month, abiding by a $200 or $300 daily risk budget. So do your own prop program. That I would agree with. If you want to do your own prop program, but when the time is right, once you can do that, why not do it across 10 accounts? PropShop is a brand new firm, so I would not go that crazy. I'm promoting them pretty extensively because I'm an investor, full disclosure, not directly in PropShop, but in one of their parent companies. So that does not mean that if you feel you were wronged or something goes wrong, that I can provide direct customer support for you. What I can do is if you come into my trade room, or if you just check the description below, you don't even have to come into my trade room anymore. I'm just giving it all away for free. The workspace that you see here on the screen, you can download it and use it if you'd like. The chart on the left is the range trader. The chart on the right is called Stay in Your Lane. You do not have to use these Renko bars if you don't want to, but you don't have to install anything else. It just comes installed just like this. So this is see how, take a mental screenshot of that in your mind, and now look at this. Different platform. This is NinjaTrader. But as you can see, I built the same thing in both platforms. My IB account is usually red. No, it's not. I got it up to 10 to 9,600 before I went on vacation. I took that out, the tracking account, and why don't we log in? We'll see what it's at. I don't think I traded it today. Which one are we going to log into? I got a lot. We'll just trade. Here we go. Do. Usually red. Boom, 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 boom. Here we go. All right. Let's go up here for a moment. And
Order filled.
just going to manage these a little differently because these are red today.
Order filled.
Just ever so slightly, but they are.
Order filled.
What I focus on is, of course, the PAs. You want the PAs to have a positive number.
Order submitted. Order filled.
All right, come back over here. We're farting dust, waiting for a touch of VWAP. Yeah, no trades today. The account has a balance of, let's look, $7,580. No trades today. I have 10 gladiators now. I have 10 gladiators. There it is. No, I have 5 activated. I'll activate the other 5, and then we'll have 15 PropShop accounts. Then we make $100 or $200 in 15 accounts, and it's $3,000. Or we lose, it's $3,000. Question about risk to reward. So the bet, I talk about this a lot. We can do a quick lesson on it. Like, let's say first we have to understand the theory and logic behind the entries, but who cares? So the entries right here, we can agree that these are dynamic lines, right? This is VWAP and these are standard deviations from VWAP, right? Do we all agree? I don't care, leading, lagging indicator, all this nonsense, trading naked, all this bullshit that people say. This is an indicator, and it's plotting mathematically the distance from this line to this line, right? Okay, so we enter right here, let's say, right? Now, sometimes, but not always, you can just, your first target can be VWAP. If price has never gotten to the next line, then this is the line I'll always use. Today we have been up to this line, so I would also want a target resting there as well. So everyone teaches this one-to-one, but they're doing all this nonsense where they're just doing support and resistance trading. That's all it is. All this other stuff is just support and resistance generally. And they say, here's a swing high, or here's a swing low, or here's an area of consolidation, and then it did this, and it did this. They're looking in the past. Now, in certain time frames, looking in the past is fine. I would prefer higher than a 30-minute, more like a 4-hour, even a 2-hour, 4-hour, and just use a typical volume profile, defined range volume profile, or you can even anchor your volume profile, and then you'll have some information that's useful looking left on the chart that you can base targets and risk rewards around. But if you're actively day trading, like most people seem to be doing in these programs, pushing buttons like a drunk monkey, then if you enter here, all you have to do is measure the distance up to your target, which is 26 points, and then you put your stop 26 points below your entry. Does that make sense? If you want a 2-to-1, you'd have a 13-point stop. Now, a 13-point stop on the NASDAQ is a little silly. But let's say your target was up here. Okay, 51. Now you can have a 25-point stop, and you have a 51-point target. And none of that is, you could teach a third grader this, because they're not all hung up around what this line is, or this line, or that line, or if you should buy here, or you shouldn't buy there. Now, don't get me wrong. The whole idea behind screen time is to develop your own situational fluency, where those questions start to just be more ingrained, more native, more understood. Oops. I love this pH antioxidant smart water in the ones in the steel or aluminum bottles. It's probably total nonsense, but it makes me feel a little bit better than drinking out of plastic. So there you go. That's the risk to reward. And you can do it all day long on any instrument. Okay? For educational purposes, let me actually do it here, right? Buy the bid, see if I can get a fill.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
Okay. All right. Well, can't even get a fill. Trying to buy the bid. But we can go through the exercise. Now again, these ranges are just so narrow. I can't take a 5-point target. It would have to be up here. Obviously, I could just look at price. I don't have to do this, but 10.5. So 5-point target, 10-point. And what is this doing for you too? It's dynamically adjusting. Now there's other things I teach around using a percentage of ATR and always thinking around the 7-day ATR as a higher time frame way to compartmentalize what's happening on these lower time frames as you're just stuck in this
Order filled.
malaise. All right. So 5-point stop from here, that's out of my DNA. I can't do that because what I need to do is buy one more down here at the -2. I'm not buying
Order submitted.
-1 if I don't plan on buying -2 as well.
Order submitted. Order submitted. Order filled.
Meanwhile, we're still farting dust up here. All the information on PropShop is down in the description, I think. Should be. If it's not, I'll make sure that I do it afterwards. Creeping lower. And it's definitely a creep. So the NASDAQ is here right next to what we would call the T-line, which is this level right here. Right here. That's a 233 EMA on a 30-minute. You can apply it to any time frame you want, but we tested it on higher time frames. So 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 2 hour, 4 hour, daily. It seems to have a lot of validity and just quickly understanding how to agree on what a trend is. So right now, since we're trading above it, we would call this a bull continuation pattern. All the trading has taken place above this line today. Doesn't mean that we have a bullish bias, but this level is always a, I thought I saved, this thing is so freaking small. I want it to be, and then I think I just save it as big arrow. All right. And then I add it to favorites. And I call it big arrow. I didn't do this over here, I think. All right. Close that, close this, close this. All right, now we have a big arrow. I think we have a big arrow. Let's look. Big arrow. Yes, there we go. So that's our T-line right there. And this would be and is always a level. So just rest in order here. In 6 more minutes, we have our market on close orders. Those have been doing a whole bunch. Now, a stream is not a great location to try to learn how to do a whole lot of anything. So again, description below. There's access to my free ebook. Prop Done Right, give you all the lessons around how to approach these programs the proper way. I have a free 30 video course called the Futures Fanatic Foundation course. And then we have 2-week free trials to come in and check out the trade room. There's no courses for sale or anything like that. There's no indicators for sale. The only way you're going to learn how to do this is daily deliberate practice. And we had a great Trader Talk Tuesday today. He's got to be asleep. Maybe he's woke up by now. He's got to be asleep. With a trader from New Zealand, Mitcho, who gets up in the middle of the night every night to do this stuff. And that's the kind of commitment it takes. I mean, we got to be honest. The Asian session, the London session has some movement if you're trading currencies and some other things. Of course, if you're trading the DAX, if you're trading the Eurobond or stuff like that. But the cash open for the New York session is where it's at. What are these did I do that? How did you guys do that? There's little crowns by people. What do the crowns mean? How'd you guys get a crown? Question about a profit goal. Don't think in terms of profit goals. There are a number of different prop firms that do have consistency rules to prevent sort of windfall trading or big outsized gambles one way or the other. I'm not a huge fan of them, but they are necessary given the structure and given how much leverage these programs provide. So don't think in terms of profit, just think in terms of risk. So your risk budget should not exceed 10% of your available drawdown. If your account's $5,000, that's $500. That's the only way to make the math work with small accounts, by the way. This whole nonsense of 1 or 2% per trade, you can't do that in a $2,500 account. Where you're going to risk $25 per trade? I mean, you can try, but that's going to be extremely challenging. So learn to manage risk first and see where you're at after 20 days. After 20 days, how well did I do at not losing money? Because the profits will just take care of themselves. A lot of people are just naturally keeping score the wrong way. I don't know if that's natural.
Order filled.
All right, check it out. Come on, baby. Put a solid green ass across all of these counts. Where am I located? Going to come break into my house? No, I'm in Las Vegas right now. In the 100-degree heat of glorious Las Vegas. Profit factor, Sharpe ratio, Kalmar ratio, Santino, triple debt. The only thing that matters is abiding by your daily risk budget. After that, you can pull in some other stats. I've mentioned this on many of other streams. Don't be too worried about your win rate. If you do what I show, come in and learn what we're doing here. My win rate has been 60 to 62% on, but keep in mind, that's math after scaling in, scaling out, right? It's not, you guys get it if you've been trading for a little while. Let's just say it's 60%. But the stat that you do need to know that everybody is upside down in is average win versus average loss. So that's the one you want to focus on. Because if you can keep your average win just slightly bigger than your average loss, you will print money.
Order filled.
filled.
Oh, we hit it.
Position closed.
All right, see that? So there you go. 100 degrees in North Carolina. North Carolina.
Order filled. Order filled.
Let me see here. I got a total mixed bag today. So I wasn't able to really. So there, this is what you're seeing on the screen. That's Tickblaze and PropShop. And then here's all the Trade-Evade accounts that I have connected. About a third of these are funded accounts and the others are just F around and find out. So there's that. And then the final piece is down here. What I showed you before. I'm down $2.91. Do you need to have accounts at 10 different firms? No, not at all. But which is the best? Which has the best? I did a whole video on that. You can go and watch it on my YouTube channel. Lots of people have different opinions. Seems to be that the consensus is these days people really like Take Profit Trader. They really like My Funded Futures. They really like Tradeify. They dislike, to a certain extent, Apex. PropShop is brand new. A lot of people like Blue Sky. I think that after I shit on Top Step for 2.5 years until they finally got their act together, as I often say, and will die on this hill, PropShop, Top Step is a much, much better firm because of Apex. Apex forced the hands of a lot of firms to get better, to do things, to offer different things, to lower their prices, to offer more accounts. So whether you want to trade with Apex again or you like Apex or what have you, they were really the Robin Hood of the prop business. All right, so we got our market on close orders in the book. There's only about eight more minutes. Take profit. The situation is that I had the 50s. I still have 5 funded take profit accounts, pro accounts on another connection. Now you can't have multiple connections. Don't do that. Don't have multiple. I have a slightly different relationship here where for my own personal use, mostly I'm using some trading
Order
business
filled.
entities for
Position open.
funded accounts. And then I keep my unfunded on others. I can't do that all the time. Apex used to allow me to do it. They don't allow me to do that anymore. So, yeah. And then here on this, I have Ninja running over here too, connected to some Bullinox. Let me see here. And let me just cancel all these orders.
Order canceled.
So on Bullinox here, I have, what is this? I have 3 what they call master accounts and then 2. I don't know if Mark's here. We had a guy that's taken an obscene amount of money out of, I don't know about obscene, just consistently significant healthy withdrawals out of Bullinox and is convinced that at some point they're going to tap him on the shoulder, but so far they haven't. Dow's at -2. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's on its way down there. You want to just mess around and put an order on the line, see if we get a fill? There we go.
Order pending. Order
Just so we're
pending.
clear on time of day, and I say this all the time, it's easiest for me to record these things, what they call the power hour, but this is not a good time to be trading or learning. I wouldn't be doing a whole lot during this time at all. Most of the time you'll find people trading into the close because they're in a losing position and they're trying to work their way out of a loser. But -2 is still a level there. Oh, look at that. That's so cute. Still watching, baby? I love it. What is that? Avocado? Chicken? So healthy. Yeah, that's a great way to spend your lunch. You should comment in the thread. What's your for your YouTube handle? You can't. It can't be your hot ass girlfriend, right? You can't do. That's not available. Is that an available handle on YouTube? Your hot ass girlfriend. So when Guitars and Adam mentioned that the Dow Jones is at -2, this is just a common language. It's very easy for us to speak. This line down here is -2s, right? All you have to do is say MYM -2, and we understand. We can take a look. The benefits of a truly supportive trade community, and I can't say that we do this all that much. I would say 80% of our chat is nonsense, but it's fun. It's fun, lighthearted nonsense. But if you want to make a comment about trading, it's very quick to say gold at -2, NASDAQ +1. Then we could take a quick look. We know exactly what that means. It's a potential area to take profit or enter a trade. So right down there at 44,475, that's the -2s. On Ninja, it's a little different. It's 44,481. So on Ninja, it's like right around here. But, I mean, it's close enough for dance with the girl you brought to the dance.
Order modified.
So whatever chart you're looking at, believe in that. Fun bus. Well, that's an interesting handle as well. Not sure I heard the story of the fun bus. All right, we got 2 more minutes. If you want me to drop any wisdom on you and you have any trading related question, let me know and we can end on that. Ideally, everyone had a profitable day. The way we calibrate and measure our trading day is based on what we call a P&L and EC score. The first part's P&L. It's pretty easy to understand, but what you want to do is think of your profits in terms of risk-adjusted basis. So how well did you do relative to staying within your risk budget? If your risk budget's $250 and you made 258, you had a big G day. You exceeded your daily risk budget. If you made $100, no problem. That's a small G day. You're going to have losing days. Just keep your losing day between $0 and $250 and just avoid big red days. The longer and better you get at avoiding big red days, the more of a position you'll be in to allow the profits to just work and happen. There you go. And the second number, you can see a couple people put in G2, big G1. The second number is your emotional capital score. 0 is good. It's like golf. If you never swing the club. Speaking of golf, has anyone seen that show? I just got back and I started a show called Stick. It's pretty funny. With Owen Wilson. So, question about how to beat trailing drawdown. You don't have to beat it at all. Just trade in a responsible manner, and you'll be fine. Is it something that's ideal or that's similar to the way real trading works? No. But there's static drawdown accounts. If you want to buy a static drawdown account, buy a static drawdown account. Once you reach the profit objective in the funded accounts, it doesn't trail anymore. So I don't understand why I just don't understand why it's an issue for most people. I still have never understood. Well, I mean, I understand people are just way over leveraged and they say that they get hit by the trailing drawdown because they, let a winner come all the way back against. That's bullshit. They just trade okay. And then they go into a deep, uncontrollable spiral downturn and don't manage risk properly. Tell me how, with a $250 risk budget and a $2,500 account, you can hit your trailing drawdown. I don't know how you do it. Let's say you make a little money, you're up 500, and then you have a max red day, 250. Now you're up 250. Then you lose the next day, you're down 250. Now you're back where you started. Let's say you lose again. Now you're down 250. Haven't hit the trailing threshold. Or let's say the profit objective is $3,000 and you're at $2,700. And you start the day at $2,700. Where's your trailing drawdown? Like 5,000, I mean, it's 50,250 or something, right? Or 50,300, something like that. Who knows? You have a $2,500 drawdown and you're $300 from the profit objective. How do you hit that? If you abide by a daily loss limit of $250. Tell me. I don't know. I'll tell you how you do it. You lose $1,500 one day. So you're not doing it right. you'd have to lose 10 days in a row from your equity high. And please don't give me this bullshit. And I'm not saying that anyone, I still hear it though. Oh, it makes me trade in a non-normal manner because I like to let winners. That's bullshit. That's not what's happening. No one knows how to properly let winners run. And if you have a big profitable trade and you let it come all the way back against you, that's just poor risk management as it is. It's poor profit management. So the way to deal with the trailing drawdown is to read my book, Prop Done Right, description down below, and you'll never have to worry about it again. I don't do this very often, but I'll come in here and I don't really even know what the stats are, but let's look. I'm going to log into Apex accounts that I have on Trade-Evate, which is some of them. I don't have all of them. I have half of them on Rhythmic and half of them on Trade-Evate. I don't know if that's going to log in. Here we go. All right, so this puts the drawdown in here, right? So here's an account. The net lick is 264,300. The drawdown is 257. I'm not very good at math, but that's like $6,000 or $7,000, right? I'm never ever going to hit this. I don't care what this number is. So here's ones that have taken payout. These are at 154, 907, 154. So these accounts have $4,000 or $4,500 in them. This is the drawdown of 150, 100. It's never going to change. My daily risk budget in these accounts is $800. I hit it once every 50 sessions. Usually my days look something like this, a little more, a little less. So there you go. John's saying about the being long and short, don't worry about that. If you're trading micros and you're doing it right, if you're doing it over at PropShop, they might notify you when you're in that type of position. If you're a member of my trade community or you do it things even close to this, I'll have your back and make sure that firms eliminate this silliness, especially when it comes to people that are managing risk and trading micros if they occasionally might get into two positions. If there's a problem with prop programs, and there's many things that could be better, but in order to be profitable, they have to attract a lot of gamblers. That's just the way it is. A lot of people that want to just take shots and spin it up or don't want to really figure out how to do this correctly. They need those people. So I ain't going to knock them. Casinos need gamblers, of course, as well. If there's skill or edge players, they're going to tend to push you to the door. But that's not the case actually in these prop programs. Eventually, they might take you live or ask you to leave, but you can do very well with them for a while. So they need those types of people in there. So a lot of these hedging rules and things just have to be there for behaviors that are not the same as occasionally having two valid trades in so-called correlated instruments that are going in different direction. Any suggestions for someone who can't always trade the New York Cash Open? No, I really don't. It's the best. I mean, the thing that would be the next close to it would be trading the DAX during the London session. So if you can trade an index, I would suggest highly that you learn and cut your teeth on an index. Not even Bitcoin, micro Bitcoin really trades all that actively all day long. All right, hold on. Let me go up here real quick. I'm already going over my allotted time. I'm going to go to orders. I'm going to cancel all orders.
Order canceled.
I'm going to go to positions and see that I'm in a position. So let's
Order
cancel
filled.
that.
Position closed.
And there we go. We're done there. Now we're going to come over here and go over here. You got to have a standard operating procedure when you're doing this kind of stuff, right? We're going to cancel all orders here.
Order canceled.
We're done there. Make sure we're not in any positions. We already did it in the other Ninja. And then the final thing is to come here. And Top Step does a great job of just canceling all your orders, right? I love TopStep for that. They cancel your orders even if you're in one. You don't have to worry about it. They've done a lot of things really well. All right, let me just rip through the rest of these really quick. Trailing drawdown I answered. I gave a long answer there. Cut winners short and let losers run. Yep, that's what everyone does. Poor profit management. That's right. What do you think about TopStep no longer using TradeEvade? I don't much care. I only had TopStep for keeping up with TopStep X. I think they've done a really good job with the TopStep X platform. They have a new API yet, but it's not doing what I'd love. If TopStep X gets to the point where you can have like some sort of ability to put custom indicators or custom Pine scripts within your instance of it, that will be phenomenal. And I think they're working on that. At that point, I don't need TradingView anymore. I definitely don't need TradeEvade. Like, I never trade on this at all. I mean, I have these domes up here, but I don't do anything with this. I trade everything through Ninja for those. Faraz, come back. Question about minis, micros, whatever. Micros only, because we're doing prop programs with small accounts in them, small account sizes. So it's micros only, generally between 1 to 3. And we trade about 6 markets, or I trade about 6 markets. All the stock indices, well, not that much on the Russell, the MCL, the MGC, and over on TopStep, I do occasionally trade a ZT. So good question. Come back. Streaming every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from noon to 1 Pacific Standard Time. I don't use the dome on TopStep. I just use what you see in front of you. I have it here. That's not true. I occasionally will hit join bid or do something with the dome, but I don't do a whole lot with it. $14.91. Yes, that's what I paid yesterday. I bought 5 of the. I thought that deal ended yesterday. Is it still running? Make sure you're cookied to me. No, I don't care. One day. Maybe this is still running. I'll do another promotion about it. So they're running a promo for 5 buy 5 get 5, which ends up being like $150 for an instant funded $50,000 account. That's how I started this discussion today. So if you go back and you want to watch the very beginning of it, I was talking about these that you see up here. Thank you. I think yeah, my code is TDG. So just put in code TDG. And the reason you want to do that, even if you have no desire initially to have anything to do with, my Tickblaze Desktop or my trade room or anything else, is this, if you're associated with me at that firm, you're just going to have to trust me on this. There'll be benefits to you going forward because I'm going to have things I can do with PropShop that others might not be able to do. Okay, so it's just beneficial. Even if the code doesn't provide you a deeper discount, you're not going to get a better discount than what it says. So what I bought yesterday was I bought so I have 5 Warrior and 5 Gladiator, and I have not activated my Gladiator. And the ones I bought were right here. I bought these, $14.91. You do this, you'll get an instant code. You'll get a code to buy 5 more. You know what else you're going to get if you're not is you get a license to use the sorry, I was on the wrong screen. So I was on the wrong screen. These are what I bought right here. These instant gladiators, and then you also get access to. You get a free version of, or you get a license for the ETP trade copier if you want to use that. Okay. The promotion is on my YouTube channel right here. So I'm just going to, I won't cut and paste this into the chat. Let me just put it on here real quick. This tells you a lot about a guy, right? Poker, some dude in Thailand, and poker. Although I'm not really sure why I'm getting served this dude in Thailand, but what are you going to do? All right. Yes, we got to go to my channel. And we're going to go to posts. And here's the deal right here. You get 10 instant Gladiator accounts. There's a direct to payout. It ends up being less than $150, right? So these are qualify for funding right away. Please make sure you read how their programs work in terms of restrictions on payouts and a bunch of other things. Don't spend $1,500 without doing some research, okay? And also don't spend $1,500 if you're, again, you do, you boo, whatever. But I started the conversation today by saying you should have some prerequisites, and those prerequisites should be you should have already had some success with these programs and understand how to use a copier and understand. You don't have to be an expert on Tickblaze, but I would suggest you trade them on Tickblaze. That's the best place to start. That's where I'm going to be trading them. You can use any other Rhythmic platform if you want. But if you have struggled or you barely took payouts or, you know, you're just tired of evaluations because screw it, you just don't want to spend any more time there, that's not the reason to buy these. The reason to buy these is for a very select amount of people that can actually profit from them and not badmouth the way they're structured and not badmouth the firm and not get all bent out of shape or upset, right? The wire-to-wire challenge is still going on. These are the first 5 I ever bought, W1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Here's the balances. I'll never blow them up. I'll eventually get them to the funded status. And if anyone has the patience to go as slow as I do, you will find that your valleys are higher. You will make higher lows. And your highs will be essentially uncapped eventually. All right, so that's the deal right there. You can read it for yourself right here. It's only for the 50K. You can only buy one of these clusters per user, and the most accounts you can have is 20. So if you already have 20, you can't do this deal. Or I guess you have to blow 10 of them up. So that's the promotion. All right, that will be it. Stay green. Trade like you own it. Trade like you own it. Trade like you own it. Trade like you mean it. We'll see you here tomorrow. Be good. Bye-bye.